This is for heaven.
What it is, what's up? Dragona content back in the cut. And JoJoLand reviews in the span of a month. You would think I'm Superman in here. I'm going to post or link to the chapter 8 somewhere up top. I'm not doing face cam for this video, at least I hope I'm not, because it's pollen to kick up my ass and you don't need to see a bedridden, defeated man out here. So I just finished chapter 8 about 2 weeks ago, like I said. I have 4 chapters to go to 13. However, I don't know if it's because of what happened to Akira Toriyama or RIP, of course, or just Araki seems to take, breaks fairly often. I don't know what it is, but basically he's taking a break for a minute and they're basically redoing these last few chapters, but on a higher quality or whatever. So we got some time to catch up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this knocked out. Chapter 9, following chapter 8, where Dragona and I already forgot his name. Oh, Usi. I remember because the Usos. Usagi basically got their card pulled by some jewelers. So sometimes you come in there acting tough, you want to rob the place, and you realize you went big on the wrong fucking person. So let's go ahead and get into it. Araki Hirohiko, the owner of the Lavaraku, the missing luxury watch. The missing luxury watch. Its location only the Lava Rock knows. It's not behind Dragona's titty medallion. They had a hot mom who's fairly young. I forgot about that shit. This woman produced Dragona and Jodio. She has a very interesting set of genetics in her. You didn't pick up someone that got on the bus. Where are you two right now? Now I will say with some of the younger Joe stars, their parts, once they had parents that were alive, their parents were a relevant part of the early series, kind of up until we got to the middle part of their respective parts. Like Jotaro, his mom and her dad mattered in that part for the first. I'm trying to think in terms of episodes. I feel like the first 5 or 7 or 9 episodes, the first handful, they mattered, especially in the case of Jonathan, or not Jonathan, Joseph and his relationship with Josuke's mom. That was, obviously a relevant part of the part. Jolene, Jotaro is in there from the first. I think Jotaro gets knocked down the first 3 or 4 episodes of Stone Ocean. And then, obviously, just come back towards the end of that one. That's really about it, I guess. I mean, Joseph, Lisa is part of pretty much. She is there from pretty much the beginning, more or less, of part 2 until about the end. But it's not revealed that, that's his mom until more so towards the end of that. I guess you could say Josuke part 8, Norisuke is his adopted father, but I don't think that's quite the same dynamic. I guess you could consider it. Norisuke is also probably around the same time. The family dynamic in JoJoLands gets lost very, very quickly. Kind of sad, honestly, that we get a kind of almost Higashikata of the weak thing and how they relate to Josuke. Really, how they end up fighting Josuke in some way or another, and then they kind of stop mattering other than Jobin and Tsurugi, I guess. But kind of sucks, I guess. Oh my God, Paco, you debutante. He's the type to browbeat kids his power over. I don't want you hanging around him. So Paco did a year bid. That's probably not relevant information because we already know Paco is a little bit of a hard head. But how about chicken burritos? Ask Dragona for me, okay? Oh, hey, chicken burritos. Hey, isn't that timely? Yo, his mom is mad young. That's crazy. She looks as about as young as Dragona is, at least in the terms of manga depiction. But this is the most woman thing of all time. Calling a guy just in a very stressful situation, just ask what should we eat today? The most woman thing of all time. You might have the abs going on. Shout out to Paco, the thug. Yeah, girl. That just is vibe that panel gave me. Doing this in the way I'm doing, which is basically the scroll down format. Some of these pages come out looking a little bit funky, but it is what it is. We'll be home by dinner time. I feel by some fucking miracle they're going to actually be home by dinner time. I don't know how, but Actually, I don't think there's any point in looking. You could definitely just pay off some rando. I hope that's like basically how Rocky met to like that's the test that was in Japanese was rando. I don't know if that translates verbatim. If it's any way it translates that verbatim to rando because I just don't know if that's a. I don't know how slang works in using kanji and other languages and stuff like that. But rando is funny. This sort of move, Jodio, is something that the mafia would do. Hmm. I think I mentioned some. I mentioned Goodfellas in chapter one because I saw the stories being told in a similar way to Goodfellas, which is done like in medias res, where you kind of like a Goodfellas type shit. You know, the main character like kind of telling like this is how. Anyway, this is Goodfella like comparisons that I had made. So maybe hey, I like being right. You know, it's a move with somebody even lower than that. They're making a threat here, indicating their own personal quotas. They're making it clear they have no interest in societal values by showing that despite being the cat's owner, they don't have the least bit of love for them. Very American Psycho, especially for Rohan Sensei. So they clubbed the riot. They probably killed Rohan, so it's probably for the best. The lava rock is community known, kind of like cough, 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 the Rokaka cough, 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 cough. I'm not the first person to make a comparison between those two, by the way. So the lava rock. Now that you mentioned it, there was a map on that iPad next to the pool. I just glanced at it real quick and didn't really think about it. But yeah, there definitely was a map. It was a map of some mountainous terrain here on Hawaii and it had a mark on it. There's got to be an origin from these lava rocks. Uh, Hawaii has a string of very active, or relatively very active volcanoes, as I recall from my 2 semesters of geology back in 2017. Uh, so it would make sense that Rohan had scale some mountains to go down and get that, and you just have a bunch of a 15-year-old just come down and steal it from him. Rohan's luck, of course. What do we do here, Jody? If this is messed up, we need to call those two back out of the store. Oh, Poku, po, Paco, Paco's an ass, not an asshole, a pussy is what I meant to say. A pussy. He's a pussy. They're not giving back that fucking rock, man. That's a pussy shit. That's not a Joestar thing to do is give back that rock. That lava rock is something we just happen to get involved along the way. It's too much for us to handle at this point. We should just give it back. I would say it's too much to handle on the fact that like there's half of their stand stuck. Jesus Christ. I'm on some what do you call it? Sally sells seashores by the sea. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Um, their stands suck. Half of them, and by half a million, everybody except Jojo. The muscle is basically like slime. Usagi's is like consensual swagger jacking. Uh, Dragona's doesn't matter. That just doesn't matter at all. Oh shit! When we get like this kind of like almost translucent test or drawing, we're about to get nuts. Some fucking bars. Paco, you should really make up your mind. There come times when if you don't make a clear choice one way or the other, you can't move forward. You just drop bars in this motherfucker. Paco is stunned. First, that lava rock. I don't know where, but it was Rohan Sensei who found it. It never belonged to this person. That I'm sure of. Rohan Sensei was in the middle of investigating what the lava rock was. He didn't know what he had when we met him. He was still figuring it out. So that person was watching Rohan Sensei. And if they were watching, then that means they also don't know anything about what the lava rock does. So it ain't their rock. They expect us to give it back to them? Get real. And also, I promised Rohan Sensei that if we couldn't go on the plane to Oahu, that I'd crush that lava rock and throw it into the sea. Those words hold the same weight for them. I'm sure they don't want to lose it. They'll have to be careful if they want to try and mess with us. Man, hold on. Are you sure you're not going to hand the lava rock over? If we do, they'll take the diamond also. It's not like they just leave us alone after. If this really is the mafia, you can bet they won't be leaving any witnesses. We wouldn't make it back home. The position we're in, we're not just a mangy, it's mangy. It's mangy? Mangy. Mangy. Mangy burglars or smugglers. We need to make our minds up. This motherfucker just put his cock on the table and just swung his fucking dick all over the table, broke the fucking table, knocked everything off the fucking table, told Paco to go fuck himself. I mean, this man just went into full Jonathan Joestar mode. Now, I will say, in terms of like kind of the who is this going to person be, who's this person going to be in terms of comparisons, clearly Giorno Jr. I think it's pretty self-evident at this point. I know he's supposed to be, as I think the previous ones have been, it's supposed to be kind of an amalgamation of multiple Joestars. This is clearly Giorno Jr. He has morals and virtues that Giorno had about doing very thug-ass shit, because it's both the Joestar kind of blood in him as well as the mafia or the Dio or just the love to do bad shit side of him as well. So he's kind of like the best of both worlds, and that's what we get in that rousing speech by Jodio Joestar. Oh, so this is Dragona going through his shit. Okay. The wallet and the diamond are mine. See when you got no watch. Where did you hide it? Damn, they're fucking falling apart here. What if they... Is that the watch right there? I think this might be a watch. It may not be the watch. I touched all 4 of those luxury watches of the lava rock. So why the only one of them disappear while 3 of them still in the trade? I imagine... I always have had this theory of like assigned value. Like, if something is more special than other, that's kind of what the lava rock's able to discern. So I'm just assuming that basically the watch that was doing a disappearing act was the one that was the most valuable of the 4, but could be totally off base there. I did the same thing to all of them, so what about that one was different with the other 3? Unlike you carefree brats, I have a responsibility to uphold when I walk around the store, a responsibility to my family, and to the company headquarters we work. Tiffany? I'd fuck a whale for a Tiffany diamond right about now. Like her eye hiss. That's the first one in the video. His eye looks like a diamond right here. We can tell the police you were illegally detaining us, you know. I'm 18 and he's 17. All we did was sit on the couch and drink some drinks. It's one thing about rich people and kids sitting on a couch. Never a good combination. What do you think you're doing treating us like suspects? You know, human rights are locking us in here. You guys are the one doing the crime. Pretty good humor, I would say, in part 9 so far. The humor's been great. The dialogue that seemed to befit these basically like teens, like 2023. Well, those 2020 teens, because this is supposed to be basically around COVID. Future nostalgia by Dua Lipa, all that stuff. I would say so far the writing has been good. I gotta see how we look when we get to a few bigger contests. I didn't like the cat shit, I'll be honest with you. The Rohan kind of square off did feel very part 4-ish to me, so very good writing there. But the cat stuff I just wasn't a big fan of. Maybe when it's animated I feel better about it. There's a lot of part 6 moments that are a little bit more dry that I enjoyed more in the anime, so we'll see. We'll see if David Productions can do anything with that in 2057 when we get this animated. We don't know shit about that. Damn, they kind of talk down these motherfuckers. The 2 of you are, of course, free to leave any time. Only after we've seen there's nothing on that recording. Look at Dragona. Look at his nose. Look at Dragona. I don't know if I can make that a thumbnail, but we'll try our hardest to. I wish I could if I can. That's a funny ass little picture. There are 4 cameras in this room alone. That includes one directly above the table and the videos are stored in the cloud. So they should be able to at least see. Well, I guess because they saw it, they made. There was a panel that noted like when Dragona was touching the medallion, or not the medallion, but the lava rock to the watches. So he even like noted it visually. So maybe I'll go back and kind of like think to themselves, like, why is this kid doing this shit? You know. So no matter what sort of trick the 2 of you just pulled, you would have coughed up that watch post haste, you shitty small time crooks. The post universe time skip has just been different writing, not time skip. The post universe, new universe. It's a little bit different writing than pre-universe. A little bit. Obviously, it's JoJo, so similarities, but the humor's been good. Like, if I look at this just like as a humor, you know, almost like close-up slice of life anime at times, it works. And I just love the faces here that they put out here. I kind of like Usagi and Dragona's relationship so far. So you see this video from the camera above the table. Everyone's acting surprised into yes. That's because there are only 3 watches on the tray. So the only one other watch that was on the tray, where is it going? Let's rewind the video and see this is exactly how it disappeared. 3 watches. It's the fourth watch. Your right hand's above the table. It's at this point the number of watches on the table goes back to four. Okay. The video doesn't show the moment the watch goes missing. Shopkeeper. Ugh. Your shoulders are creating a blind spot for the camera. Damn. Okay, so they're gonna cross-reference the other cameras. This is very interrogative. I kind of like it. All right, so this should be crystal clear unless I'm assuming, I just have a guess here. I have a guess that the law Russians somehow make some kind of illusion or disruption for each angle so they can't see what happens. That's just my guess. Dragona's locked in. We haven't seen her stand his stand. That's number two. We haven't seen his stand in forever. I don't know if he does something with his stand here that like makes this happen. But this is three watches again. This is his hand. So this would be here's a moment, here's a moment. But his hands don't seem to move significantly, do they? Oh, hmm, hmm, interesting. I don't know anything about this. And now it's behind the medallion. Wow. The stand. I knew it. The stand. So his stand did it on his own. I wonder if the lava rock like followed Dragona's will. Maybe Dragona subconsciously wanted that watch. This is a flashback to Rohan's estate. So we have the diamond and a cup. That was me. I moved it. Something I did unconsciously. Here we go. Okay. So next we need to know where you hit the luxury watch. You write and investigate all your possessions. You get to do a body check and you think you need to check every last inch of your person. The lava rocks are protecting the treasure, I guess. Oh. They were about to fucking yo. That cop was pretty handy with Dragona, but they were about to go crazy. Look at this shit. I had to get in my shoelaces. What the hell? This is like the tomato can soup rolling away. What the freak? Just wait until it stops moving. It's heading for the elevator. That's a 10,000. What the fuck is? Yeah, I know that's supposed to be clatter, like it's bouncing about, but like it's moving like a circular pattern. I just honored you and belittled you with my utterly baseless accusations. What I said and did utterly that should be was. What I said and did was utterly shameful. I'm so rude to you I don't even know how I can begin to apologize. The band is so much slippery. I suppose it's too shiny, clean, and fresh. Shiny, clean, and fresh. That is interesting. I would not be surprised if they still somehow end up with the watch at the end. This lava rock mystery, something else. It may take some time, but this silly spectacle of chasing after will keep on going for a while. More customers will come eventually. That watch, maybe not even here on the island, will come back to this lava rock. Dragona's calling his shot here. To people's emotions and connections, these things that are worth money are sure to eventually come back. That shopping trip sure was fun with just you and me. We should share instead, don't let go of it. I thought you were trying to spit game for a second there. Like, no slack in my Mac, bro. No slack in my Mac, Usagi. I gotta keep a few potential thumbnails just in case. I have a couple of options. Yeah, it's a really good development, I would say, for the characters. But more or less, it seems like if there is value assigned to the item by the lava rock owner, it's going to come back to a lava rock, pretty much. What I've been eating? They said they saw the chicken burritos around noon, so I went to the shop over there and had them fry us up some abalones that were raised in the deep sea. Man, I really wanted to eat some of the chicken they raised high up in the mountains here in Hawaii. But what the fuck? What? I thought, see, I just thought that, like, we just skipped a little bit ahead. Whoa. Um, Um. Okay. Uh. I'm at a loss of words, honestly. Who is this? It's not Giorno, I'm pretty sure. That's pretty sure it's not Giorno. Let's just say that. Who else it could be? I don't know. It's not Giorno. You won't give the rock back even after I went and gave you a chance before you knew too much. And he speed blitzes Jodio pretty easily, I would say. And that's where we end. That is the end of that. Good chapter, I would say. Definitely better than half of the fucking shit I've seen with the cat bullshit. But yeah, clearly I was gonna like hypothesize that was like rock shards coming off of his face. I don't want to keep on going the rock human theory. Like I'm gonna try to refrain from mentioning that too much. I do think that I mean, eight was related to seven loosely. The Jesus parts did not matter, but there were parts from seven that mattered to eight, obviously. I don't think we're just going to come into nine, and nine is completely unrelated to eight. But, you know, we got Rohan. A lot of people thought it was going to be Gappy, and it wasn't. So we'll see when it comes in. It's going to be tasteful, I'm sure, when we get those references, but may or may not be a rock human. I'm going to say no at this time. He just happened to have the ability to, like, kind of, I guess, shield his face, put up an entirely new face, I guess. Very interesting. Dragona stock up. Usagi stock, I would say neutral. Paco stock down. Doing a year bid in jail. Your stock goes down. And then Jodio stock neutral, I would say. Actually, I would say stock up. After that speech, his stock is also up. So the Joe stars are up. Mama Joe star, I don't know about her, but may need a little bit of help up top. I don't know about her, but that's it. Uh, Gonna get this edited and hopefully post it tomorrow. And then we get out to 10, 11, 12, and 13. Four more to go. God damn.